Good morning, students. How are you all? Fine. Okay, very good. Dear students, now is the session of economics as usually it happens every day. And in the previous few sessions, I had completed the topic the meaning and properties of indifference curve. Until now, we have understood that the theory of indifference curve analysis is based on the assumption that utility is not measurable but comparable, and therefore it is called ordinal approach of consumer's equilibrium. Okay, students, so what is indifference curve? We have understood that it is a graphical presentation of all those possible combinations or bundles of the two goods which provide the same level of satisfaction to a consumer. And in practice, you can say for each and every consumer, there is a given set of indifference curves, there is a given family of indifference curves, and each consumer would always like to reach the higher possible indifference curve in order to maximize the level of satisfaction. But which indifference curve the consumer can reach, or the highest possible indifference curve the consumer wants to achieve, it depends on his income and given prices of the two goods. That means in indifference map, a consumer would like to reach the highest possible indifference curve in order to maximize the level of satisfaction. As we have discussed that any combination lying on a higher possible indifference curve will have more of either the two goods or at least one good, called monotonic preferences. So a higher possible indifference curve would always provide the high level of satisfaction to the consumer in comparison to the previous one. But the question arises, the highest possible indifference curve that the consumer wants to reach will be achieved by him or her or not. Means that much quantity of both the goods which you want to purchase in order to maximize your satisfaction, will you purchase or not? It depends on two things. First, it depends on money income available with you, as well as it depends on prices of the two goods. So the given prices of the goods and given money income form the buying capacity, the purchasing capacity of the consumer. And to which indifference curve a consumer will reach, it depends on his purchasing capacity, depends on his buying capacity. Right? Since there is a given money income with each consumer, and there are given prices of each commodity he or she wants to purchase. Therefore, a rational consumer prepares a budget on the basis of these two and make purchases of the two goods accordingly. That simply means each consumer has a budget to buy different goods and services, whatever he or she requires in his everyday life. So what is budget? If you define budget from a consumer's point of view, then in fact it is a plan to spend on different goods and services. It is a plan to spend the income of a consumer on different goods and services for consumption. This is the budget. And if you define budget set, what is budget set? Then it can be defined as a set of all those possible combinations or bundles of the two goods which a consumer can buy with his given income and given prices. This is called budget set. Budget set of a consumer can be expressed in the form of an equation as P small x into capital X plus P small y into capital Y is equal to M. In this equation, P small x denotes price of commodity X and capital X denotes the quantity of good X. Py denotes price of good Y and capital Y denotes the quantity of good Y, and M denotes the level of money income. That means the maximum amount of goods and services are reflected by the budget set which a consumer can purchase, a consumer can buy with his given income and given prices of the two goods. This is all about budget set. So budget set implies those possible combinations or bundles of the two goods which are under the ambit of the consumer, which the consumer can purchase with his given money income and given prices by spending his entire income. There is another concept related to budget set, that is called budget constraint. So before knowing what is called budget constraint, you can think that if you spend your entire income on different goods and services, then you can buy more. And if you save a part of your income, then you will spend less of your income on buying different goods and services. So by spending your entire income, you can purchase more of the goods, and by spending less income or less than that, you can buy less of goods and services. So budget constraint, when we say, it is a little bit different from budget set, and it refers to all those possible combinations or bundles of the two goods which costs either equal to the income of the consumer or less than it. And this budget constraint can be expressed in the form of an equation as P small x into capital X plus P small y into capital Y is either less than or equal to M. This is budget constraint. So what is budget set and budget constraint? We have already understood. If we present this budget set and budget constraint in the form of a table, then it will be called budget schedule. So if it is asked what is called budget schedule, then you can define it as a tabular presentation of all those possible combinations or bundles of the two goods whose cost is either equal to consumer's income or less than it. So the tabular presentation of these bundles will be called budget schedule. And if you present all these bundles or combinations of the two goods with the help of a graph, then it will be called budget line. So if you define budget line, then it can be defined as a graphical presentation of all those possible combinations or bundles of the two goods which a consumer can buy, can purchase with his given income and given prices. That is all about budget line. You see, that's budget line. And this budget line will be touching x and y axis both, which implies that at the touching point along x axis, a consumer can purchase maximum of good x, and at touching point of y axis, a consumer can purchase maximum of good y only. But since the given consumer has to purchase both the goods, therefore the consumer will make combinations or bundles of both the goods to be purchased. And a budget line in fact is a graphical presentation of these bundles or combinations which the consumer can purchase with his given income and given prices of the two goods. So any combination or bundle lying along the budget line will be equal to the income of the consumer. So the equational form of the budget line will be as px small x into capital X plus p small y into capital Y is equal to m. This is the equational form of the budget line. Now, the combinations or bundles lying below the budget line is showing what? Showing less expenditure of income of the consumer. So the cost of the bundle lying on the budget line will be equal to the entire income of the consumer, whereas the cost of the bundle or combination lying below the budget line will be less than entire income of the consumer. Therefore, the budget line shows budget set, but the area covered by the budget line shows budget constraint. And if any combination or bundle is lying above the budget line, beyond the budget line, then it will be called as non-attainable combination or bundle which cannot be purchased by the consumer with the given income and given price. Okay students, this is all about budget set and budget line. Do you know what does the slope of budget line state? If you measure the slope of budget line, then you can measure it by drawing a perpendicular from two different points of the budget line towards x-axis and towards y-axis. And by drawing these two perpendiculars towards x and y axis, you will find that there is formation of a triangle. And by taking measurement of the hypotenuse of the triangle, you can measure the slope of the budget line as AB by BC is equal to hypotenuse. And in this slope, AB denotes the fall in by goods by, denoted by delta y, and the AB denotes rise in good x, that is delta x. So when we will move from one combination towards another along the budget line, then some quantity of good y will be replaced by increasing quantity of good x. So in fact, the slope of budget line shows the rate of substitution equal to delta y by delta x, which must be equal to price ratio of both the goods px by py. Thus, the slope of budget line is equal to price ratio of both the goods x and y expressed as px and py. Okay, this is the short description of budget line I have done today, and I will discuss it in detail in the online class. However, you are advised to go through this topic budget line from your textbook in detail and in far better way. And if you have any question and queries, then must converse with me. Thank you very much.